Good morning, sir and audience. Today I will present my presentation about the teacher's talk in online learning verbal interaction using the PAACS. My name is Diva Sinaga. I am from DIK and now I will present my presentation. The first is classroom interaction. Classroom interaction, NONI 1994, states that through interaction, students will be able to increase their language skills and level as interactions provides a lot of input and output through listening and speaking, encourage students more in using the language, and provides students acquaintance and acquaintance with the language. Classroom interaction becomes the central factor which then will be able to enhance students' linguistic storage and also increase their communication skills. Considering that also as the communication skills could be acquired through speaking activities, for example, debates, discussion, and also passionate topics among students. As interaction as interaction becomes the collaborative exchange of ideas, feelings, and touch, students have more opportunities in understanding and use professionally incomprehensible language. Types in the classroom interaction have the three types. The first is teacher-learner interactions. Teacher-learner interactions. This interaction is mostly done by the teacher as it influences the teacher interacting with the students about the content of the lessons, asking questions, giving directions, and criticizing or justifying the students' thought. Throughout this interaction, student will get benefit from how teacher interact in the matter what is the most effective. The second step is learner-learner interactions. Learner-learner interactions should be well structured and managed to have the students get the cognitive development, educational achievement of students, and emerging social competencies. The teacher has expanded to encourage students in the type of interactions so that students will become active participants rather than passive participants. The last is teacher-wall classroom interaction. This interaction has happens mostly in EFL, English as foreign language classroom, as the teacher needs to intimidate teacher wall cause interaction by asking questions and receiving students' responses. Teacher need to keep asking questions orally to stimulate students in speaking. In cold be said that in this interaction is basic in making students talk more in EFL classroom. And I talk about teacher talk types. Teacher talk types have a seven types. Seven types is the first types is a self feeling. A self feeling and calibrates the tone of students in an entertaining manner. Feelings may be positive or negative. Predistinct or recalling feelings are included. The second is praises or encourage. Praises or encourage students' action or behavior. Jokes, jokes the release tensions, but not at the expense of any other individual. Nodding, hate, or saying hmm, or go on are included. The third is accepts or uses ideas of students, clarifying, building, or developing ideas suggested by a student. As teachers brings more of his own idea into play, shift into categories 5. Fourth, asks questions. Asking questions about content or material or producer with the intent that a student answer. The fifth is lecturing, giving facts or opinion about content or producer, expressing their own ideas asking rhetorical questions. The sixth is giving direction. Direction, comments, or others which students are expected to comply with. And the last is criticizing or justifying authority. Statements intended to change students' behavior from uncuttable or acceptable pattern. Bowling someone out, standing while the teacher is doing what they are doing. Extreme self-reference. And the next is FLANDERS interaction analysis category system. FLANDERS interactions analysis system is an observing instrument that classifies teachers and students' verbal behavior as they interact in the classroom. Nonverbal gestures are not taken into account by Flanders instruments, which was developed to observe solely verbal communication in the classroom. This system also could be Flanders interaction analysis is a type of a classroom interaction analysis that the focus solely on verbal behavior primarily because it can be observed with greater reliability than nonverbal behavior and more importantly because it is a this because it is assumes that an individual's behavior is an adequate sample of his overall behavior. And the next is advantages of FEATS. FEACS. FEATS. This analysis is also said to serve as vital feedback to the teacher to or teacher in training on their intention and actual behavior in the classroom. The system also could be easily followed by the supervisor, or inspecting staff. Flanders interaction analysis is said to be an activities tools to measure to social emotional climate in the classroom. The next is analysis. The first the first is the types of teacher talk applied in online verbal interactions. This the A According to Flanders 1970, teacher's talk can be classified into two types, namely direct influence and indirect influence. Indirect influence, according to Flanders 1970, it is the way teachers stimulate students to exchange in classroom interaction. This influence allows students to be more active during the interaction. Indirect influence covers four categories of teachers' talks in which they are expecting feelings, praising or encouraging, accepting or using ideas of student and asking questions. B. Direct influence. Direct influence, according to Flanders 1970, is when the teacher increases their control in the classroom activities and restrains student behavior. Of this would, of course, lessons and freedom of action for the students. Direct influence confers three categories of teacher talk which are lecturing, giving directions, and criticizing or justifying authority. Second is the relations of teacher talk applied in online verbal interaction. According to Flanders 1960, the relations for teacher's talk would be done when all categories of teacher's talk from two main types, indirect influence and direct influence, could be applied fully in the classroom. In the in the in the other hand, it was found from the present study that the relations of teachers talk in online verbal interaction do not fully conducted since the last category of teacher talk, criticizing and justifying authority, was not found in the data analysis. Discussion in the in the analyzing the types of teacher talks and the relations of teacher talks used by the teacher. This research used the FLANDERS interactions analysis category system FIAC's 2070, which claim that seven types of teacher talk are then categorized into two types of influence, direct influence and indirect influence. Direct influence include expecting feelings, praising or encouraging, accept or using the ideas of students asking questions. And the first was to influence the students L2 equations or foreign language. The teacher needs to ask questions or direct them to interact more in the class to promote the target language. The teacher often appointed the students for them to ask to speak in the classrooms. The teacher started that if this was not done, the students will not be able to talk or interact in English as they were supposed the to in the future. And therefore the teacher often gave direction to the student to avoid this to happen again. The third reason was to motivate the students. This reason correlates with the previous one because the students did not have motivation at all. Their participations could be counted as a zero in the first online classes. Thus, the teachers give motivations and encouragement to the students so they could be more confident to talk and participate more in the classroom. And for the last conclusion, in addition, the religion of teacher talks in online verbal interaction do not fully conduct since the last category of teacher talk criticisms and justifying authority was not found in the data analysis. In regards to the last problem, the research found that were three reasons for the teacher use the teacher talks the way it was namely. First, to influence learners L2 equations or formal language. The second, to influence the students participants in the classroom. And the third and the last is to motivate the students in the classroom. So that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.